everyone, and welcome to another Booming Encore's Learning Bites. My name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. And today I'm delighted to welcome back Joe Casey. Joe is a retirement coach and co-principal at Retirement Wisdom. And the last time Joe was with us, we talked about what a retirement coach does. And today we're actually going to talk about focusing on how do you get the most value once you've decided to actually enter into a retirement coach working relationship. So welcome back, Joe.
Great to be back, Susan. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for coming. Joe, so let's start off with, how should someone begin a working relationship with a retirement coach?
Well, it's a great question. I think first, think about why you want to engage a retirement coach. What I see in the clients that work with me and our company is that they are people that want more out of this next phase of life. They're not really interested in withdrawing. They don't want your retirement or my retirement or their neighbor's life retirement. They're really looking to create one that's really authentic to themselves and really to craft their own path. The best way I can describe it is that they're the people, and there's many listeners probably fall into this category too, who feel that they're retired or retiring, but they're not done yet. But they're looking for more. So I think in terms of how to build a relationship, I'd go to first talk to a lot of options. At least 3 potential coaches. And you want to do your homework on their training and their experience, because you want to make sure that you're dealing with someone who has had multiple clients, had multiple years in this field, and has a strong toolkit. I would ask for a free session, because I think you can learn a lot by what it's like to work with a coach rather than having them describe it. Just ask for a free session and see what it's like. And I think the only other piece of advice on how to build a relationship is to really try to look for a coach that's going to both support you and challenge you. Most of us coaches are clearly going to provide the support. That's our nature. But you really want someone who's going to help you learn, help you extend yourself a little bit, and take you a little bit out of your comfort zone. If you think back to anything that's been worthwhile in life, it usually involves some type of challenge and some type of pushing yourself a little bit more. You want someone who's going to be able to support you, but push you a little bit further at the same time.
Those are some excellent points. And just to kind of expand on that a little bit further, what are some of the signs that you actually can see if you're really getting value from a retirement coach?
I would recommend looking at 5 things and just really asking yourself how it's going along the way. I'm glad you mentioned value, by the way, because retirement coaching is actually less expensive than people think. The biggest feedback I get on pricing is, that's it. And I think people are surprised by that. They think it sounds like it's going to be a big investment. Actually, it's not. It's very inexpensive, in my opinion. But the 5 things are, first, you want to really look at how focused the coach is on your agenda. So does this person really care about your goals? Are they really helping you clarify them? Secondly, are they engaging you in interactive learning? Are they giving you interactive assignments and exercises that really get you involved and get you going, help you learn that way? And then, are they helping you see things differently? Are you noticing your mindset's a little bit differently, or you're more open to certain possibilities, or they're expanding your thinking in some way? And then fourth, are they helping you to explore some options, some new options, possibilities you haven't considered? If they're really recycling through what you came to the table with, that's probably not the progress you're looking for. And then finally, when you get to the phase in the process, are they helping you move forward? Are they helping you experiment, take some steps, not major steps, but steps where you learn more? Those are the 5 I would say. I would also recommend giving it reasonable time to evaluate it. It's not going to be an instant thing, but about halfway through the number of sessions that you've committed to work with Coach on, it's a good time to step back, evaluate it, and see if you're getting what you need.
And so just based on that point, like, what should someone do if they don't think they're actually necessarily getting the value?
I think the first thing to do is really to have a conversation with the coach. Prepare for a little bit, but be really clear about what you'd like to see more of and what you'd like to see less of. What's working for you, what's not. And then the most important thing is I would watch carefully and listen carefully to how the coach responds. Are they open or are they defensive? Are they curious about what's not working and how to make it better? Or are they really doubling down and being really rigid in their process and tools? And then at the end of the day, are they willing to work with you? Are they willing to pivot? Coaches that have a robust toolkit probably will be, because they're okay, we're going down this path. Let's try this instead. Coaches that are limited in their training are probably going to have a hard time veering off the path. So watch how they respond. And then the second option, if you're not getting that vibe that, okay, this is going to be different, I would recommend exploring new options. You're going to be a much better educated consumer of coaching the next time around. And there's plenty of options out there. Go talk to a few more people. I will tell you that, and I may have mentioned this on the last time, usually a few times a year, I get clients who come back to me. They pick another coach. I was part of the 3 they interviewed. I maybe finished second, maybe third, I don't know. Don't tell me. But they came back, they said, because it wasn't working. And it's already happened twice this year, or pretty early in the year. And I always ask them, why? What happened? I'm not interested in the other coach, but I'm curious about what didn't work so I can help them. They said, well, I really picked that coach because the chemistry with you is good, but with them it was awesome. Something just clicked. I just really felt like they were good. In my mind, I'm always saying, you're not hiring a friend, you're hiring a coach who can help you do something. So they came back, and they also say that sometimes there's a lack of structure or process, or the toolkit is pretty limited. Some things I mentioned before. So you can always get another coach and really get what you need, but focus on what you need from it and choose that balance of support and challenge.
That's some great thoughts there, Joe. Now, any other suggestions you'd want to share if someone's actually choosing to work with retirement coach?
Do some initial thinking about what you need. You don't have to have it all sorted out. Most of my clients come to me. They have an idea that they want more. They're retired but not done, but they're not clear on that path. But have an idea of what you want to explore to start. And it'll evolve, and know that going in, that a good coach will help you clarify that and take you to different places with it, but really articulate what you're thinking. Second thing is to invest in the homework. This might not be what you're really eager to hear, but a lot of the progress in coaching happens between the sessions. And really invest the time in doing the exercises, doing the homework in between. You'll get the most value out of the experience that way. And if you're not getting homework, that gives you another sign, or homework that stretches you a little bit. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, it usually isn't. But if it engages you, that's going to be really, really helpful. And then finally, take ownership. Just as those check-ins, if your coach isn't doing a check-in after 3 sessions, initiate one. Say, hey, I'd like to spend a little time just talk about what's working well and what maybe can work better. And express your point of view, but also get their read on how it's going.
And Joe, just on average, how many sessions would you say the typical person, I know everybody's different, but the typical person would actually, need?
Sure. With our clients, we start out with 6 sessions. We don't put a minimum on it because I feel that if people want to stop, for whatever reason, they can stop. So we don't require a minimum, but it's usually 6 to start with. A good chunk of people go further, usually about 12, but 6 is a good place to start, in my opinion, because you can get to a plan of action through that.
That's great. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, when you think about it, it is really a working relationship. And so you really need somebody who's going to, take you through a process that's going to actually work for you on a personal level, and as well keep you accountable and hopefully help you. A lot of people are saying they're retiring from something, but it'd be nice to retire to something. And this process probably would actually help you figure out what that something is. So thanks so much for that information, Joe.
Yeah, it really helps to find it because there's so many options, which is the good news. But the bad news is that creates a lot of uncertainty. And as you get more into it, it's not usually, for many people, it's not a solo endeavor either. So there's a spouse or other family members or significant other involved. So there's that part too. They're your goals and the direction you're thinking about sync up with what your partner or others important in your life might be thinking as well. So there's a lot that comes up as you begin to explore it. But most people through that type of coaching process are going to get more clarity. They're going to have the chance to really experiment with some things. And that's where the real learning comes in.
No, great. Well, thanks so much for these insights about retirement coaching, Joe. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Susan. Great to be back in.
And for everybody out there, we hope that you found this information valuable and it helps you live your best booming encore. Bye for now, everyone.